We're live at 5 with RT International. The headlines today. First off, news just in. As I speak, the Prime Minister's office says Greece remains at the negotiating table and that the government has proposed a 2-year deal with Europe's bailout fund. That's coming through the news wires, as I say, right at the top of the hour now. We're following that up then. Also headlining today too, an Indonesian military plane crashes in a residential area in North Sumatra several minutes after takeoff. It's killed all 113 people on board, according to the country's Air Force. And activists from an aid ship that led an anti-sea blockade flotilla sailing to Gaza are stuck in an Israeli detention centre today after that vessel was yesterday intercepted by Israel. Another story we're following up too, of course, big story, those talks over the Iranian nuclear programme nearing the midnight deadline, with the prospects of a deal being reached by then looking bleak. We're expecting a media conference from Vienna. Sergei Lavrov speaking maybe within the next hour. As soon as that happens, we'll go to it too. Hello, my name's Kevin Owen. Yep, we're going to that Indonesian plane crash in just a moment. Before we do, though, just to remind you about that headline that just came through as I was talking about the headlines. It's just come through on the news wires. The Prime Minister's office talking about the Greek bailout and where Greece is going to go next. The Prime Minister's office saying that Greece remains at the negotiating table at this hour and that the government has proposed a 2-year deal with Europe's bailout fund. We don't know any more than that at the moment. As soon as we do, we'll furnish you with more details in the coming minutes. Also then, Indonesia saying today 113 people on board that Hercules military plane which crashed in North Sumatra this morning have been killed. The plane hit a residential area, causing its thought casualties on the ground, though the number still isn't known, as you'll see, because of the huge amount of devastation there. Well, that aircraft that came down, it was a big one. It's a Lockheed Hercules C-130 military transport plane. It was more than 50 years old. It had been built back in the United States in 1960. The Indonesian Air Force says it's now grounded as a precaution. It's remaining 8 Hercules aircraft in its fleet while the investigation into what went so badly wrong gets underway. That plane fell onto 2 buildings and also a car, setting them ablaze. Witnesses say before it crashed, they saw it circle several times at a very low altitude. Then it appeared to explode, they say, before striking a hotel and a massage parlour. A military spokesperson says that plane came down just minutes after takeoff from a nearby military base. I spoke to Talat Masood. He's a retired general of the Pakistani army. He told me he believes the fact the plane was so old could have played a critical role here.
It becomes more and more difficult to maintain an aircraft which is as old as 50 years old. The way that the Americans have been selling these aircraft or giving it away to poor countries or to the countries which are less developed, like Indonesia, Pakistan and others, one has to be very careful and also see that their level of maintenance is really up to the mark, because then the lives of so many are at risk. And I think this is exactly what must have happened. That probably the quality of maintenance was poor and they were not able to get the right spares. And although the real investigations, when they come, then you will have the real cause of the accident.
We're closely following up search, investigation and rescue operation, what's left of it, salvage operation indeed, now on air and online. And you can keep up to speed with all the details if you're not by TV, of course, at rt.com.